Let's be honest, dealing with unemployment can be incredibly stressful. But today, we're going to completely demystify the Oregon Francis Online weekly certification process. We are taking what usually feels like a confusing bureaucratic maze and turning it into a clear, totally manageable path.
If you're in Oregon and navigating the unemployment benefits process feels overwhelming, you are definitely not alone. In this explainer, we'll break it down step by step so you can confidently certify your benefits without any headaches. Whether you're completely new to this process or you're just looking to understand why the system works the way it does, we've got you covered from start to finish.
So here is our quick roadmap for today. We're going to cover the basics and claim preparation, the certification process, overcoming common claim issues, strategies to maximize benefits, additional resources and support, and we'll wrap up with an important legal disclaimer. Okay, Section 1, Basics and Claim Preparation, Setting the Right Foundation. First up, let's translate a super common bureaucratic term into plain English, the base period. Oregon generally defines this as the earliest 4 of the 5 complete calendar quarters right before the quarter in which you actually file your claim. Why does this matter? Well, because within that specific time frame, you have to pass some basic tests to even be eligible. You either need to have earned at least $1,000 in total wages, with your base period wages being at least 1.5 times whatever you made in your highest quarter, or alternatively, you must have worked at least 500 hours for covered employers. That is essentially the mathematical foundation of your entire claim. Right, so before you even think about opening your web browser to apply, you've got to gather your materials. Consider this your mandatory prep checklist. You need your social security number, the names and addresses of your past employers, the exact dates you worked along with your wages, and a valid state ID. And a quick heads up on that ID. To prevent fraud, Oregon has some pretty strict identity verification procedures. A lot of it's automated, sure, but some claims actually get flagged for manual review, which could literally mean a trip down to your local post office. Yeah, actual snail mail is still a thing. So grab all this info right now to prevent any annoying system timeouts or delays once you start. Once you've got your documents together, setting up your Francis Online account is your next step. You'll just go to francis.oregon.gov, select Sign Up for an Online Account, verify your email with a quick security code, and finally confirm your account. You might actually need a specific letter ID to finalize that confirmation, which the state sends to you in the mail. Oh, and here's a massive pro tip. If you've already set up an account in Francis Online to receive paid leave Oregon benefits, you do not need to set up a new account. You just use those exact same existing credentials to access your unemployment services. It's all one single digital identity. Moving right along to Section 2, the certification process. Let's talk about filing your weekly claim. Now, there's a really crucial and honestly kind of confusing concept you need to grasp called the waiting week. Basically, the waiting week is the very first week you file a claim where you meet all the eligibility requirements. But here's the catch. Before you start seeing any actual money, Oregon law strictly mandates that you serve 1 unpaid waiting week per claim. You literally will not be paid a single dime for this specific week. But you absolutely still must claim it to get credit for it. If you don't claim that week on time, or if you happen to earn more than your weekly benefit amount during that week, you lose that waiting week credit and your actual payouts will just end up getting delayed. It's also vital to know that unemployment claims run on a super strict chronological schedule. The standard administrative week in Oregon runs from Sunday at midnight straight through to Saturday at 11:59 p.m. You cannot file prospectively. The window to file for a completed week opens right at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday and completely shuts the following Saturday at midnight. Sure, you technically have a full 7 days to get it done, but honestly, my absolute best advice is to always file your certification on Sunday or Monday. Getting it submitted early is the best way to minimize processing times and get those electronic funds moving fast. Let's walk through exactly what you click inside Francis Online. First, you log into the Claim It portal. Right on your home screen, you'll look for a message that says Ready to File for the specific week you're claiming. Just click File Now. From there, it is absolutely critical that you answer all the questions with complete honesty. Remember, standard rules mean you have to actively apply for jobs, be physically able to work, and be available during the normal days and times employers would expect for your specific industry. All right, Section 3, Overcoming Common Claim Issues. Let's tackle some roadblocks. You might see this intimidating word pop up on your account. Adjudication. Please don't panic. Adjudication simply means the state is legally required to review some sort of potential eligibility issue that got flagged on your claim. That's it. The department just needs to gather a little bit more info from you and probably from your previous employer. They review the facts, apply the laws, and make a decision. The absolute fastest way to get through this process is to just answer any follow-up questions from the state right away. So, what actually triggers that adjudication process in the first place? Well, here are the most common actions that flag a claim and pause your benefits. Things like missing work or turning down a job offer, turning in incomplete job search records, or traveling away from your home area, because that implies you aren't actually available to work. Not being available full-time or even just having a break in your weekly claiming schedule can also trigger it. If you can avoid these common pitfalls, your claim is going to process so much smoother. And that actually brings us to a major system rule. If you skip a week of claiming, your claim literally expires. You cannot just casually log in a week later and expect the system to let you file. No way. You actually have to actively click Restart Your Claim inside Francis Online or call the Special Program Center to get it going again. If you're submitting claims regularly, the department highly recommends just claiming every single week, even if you worked full-time that week. It saves you the massive headache of having to restart your entire claim from scratch. Next up is Section 4, Strategies to Maximize Benefits, getting the most out of your financial help. 1.25%. That highly specific number is exactly how your weekly benefit amount gets calculated. Your weekly payout is 1.25% of your total base year gross earnings, though obviously it's never going to be less than the state minimum or more than the state maximum. But this brilliant little formula perfectly illustrates exactly why accurate initial wage reporting is so incredibly critical. Every single dollar you accurately report from your base period directly helps maximize that weekly payout. It's also super important to understand the difference between standard unemployment insurance and specialized programs. Standard UI means you have to actively search for work and be fully available, right? But Oregon actually offers special programs that modify or even completely waive those standard rules. For example, if you get approved for training UI to attend a vocational training, you're actually exempt from the active work search mandates. The Self-Employment Assistance Program lets you focus full-time on launching your own business without standard job search requirements. And the Workshare program lets employees who have just had their hours reduced claim partial benefits. Knowing these options exist can really help you maximize your benefits to fit your exact life situation. Okay, Section 5, Additional Resources and Support. If you hit a wall, here are your best direct support avenues. For in-person job placement and career planning, head over to a WorkSource Oregon Center. If you need assistance in a language other than English, you can call the Language Access Line at 833-685-0845. For specific issues with your claim, definitely call the UI Contact Center at 877-345-3484. And if you ever need to physically drop off documents at the Central Administrative Office down in Salem, they've got secure drop boxes at the north and south entrances. Just a quick tip, any documents you drop in there by 4:30 p.m. on a business day are officially considered received that very same day. Finally, Section 6, Important Legal Disclaimer. Just a quick notice here. Please note, this explainer is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. For specific guidance related to your situation, please contact a legal professional or the Oregon Employment Department directly. But honestly, mastering the system isn't just about mechanically checking boxes and following rules. It's about taking active control of your financial security when you need it most. So, what specific step will you take today to make sure your safety net is totally ready for tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me, and stay curious.